Guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler Glennon. Today we're going to be talking about how to connect with your prospects in the first 15 seconds of the phone call, or when you sit in front of someone, or even if you're just walking up to somebody and, like a retail store job in sales, right? You're just the first 15 seconds that you're actually in front of your prospects, communicating with them, your first impression with them, and how to truly connect with them, get them to open up and start to build that relationship and not be salesy, as people like to say. All right, guys, so the first thing that I want to go over with you guys is just a quick story. When I first got into sales, I saw people that were doing really well in sales, and I didn't really understand why. And the issues that I was coming across was that in the first, minute of the phone call, people were trying to hang up on me, and I never understood what was causing that. And what I realized is I didn't know how to connect with people, and I sounded salesy, and I was just cold calling people, and I was the epitome, like when you get a phone call from a number that you don't know, I'm not like, I answer it and I'm just like, yeah, this guy's trying to sell me something. Like, that was me. And there were people doing it way better than me. So I started to listen, I started to learn. And then, as time went on, I got close with Andy Elliott and the team. And I figured out that there's a couple things that you can implement into your communication, your conversations, your phone calls, whatever the case is, to have way more success. So guys, the first thing is going to be your energy. If I'm making an outbound phone call, and I sound like I hate my job and I hate making phone calls and I hate talking to people. If I go up to somebody and I just have a frown on my face and I'm in person with someone and they can see me, like, do you think that they're going to be excited to talk to me? Like, I'm asking you, like, what are you infecting people with? Like, are you infecting people with positivity and like making them want to have a conversation with you? Like, think about that. Like, what are you making them feel, right? Because we're always making our prospects and these people feel something. Right? So are you making your prospects feel good, and are you making them want to continue having the conversation with you? And I'm not saying that you got to be screaming, hooting, and hollering when you're talking to Betty, who's 88 years old and she's trying to buy a life insurance policy, but I am saying make it about them. We as a salesperson have the control and the spotlight in the conversation, and we can place it wherever we want. So hey, I'm so glad to see that you're looking around to take care of your family today. Would you just be looking for yourself or for you and a loved one, right? Like, that's great that you're looking to get a new car today. Something that's a little bit more safe would probably suit you guys best. I'm sure that's important to you guys, right? Like, make it about them. Make them feel good about what they're doing. Make them feel like they're doing the right thing, making the right decision with the right person, with the right product, and then they will continue to open up. So making the conversation about them is number one, putting the spotlight on them, thinking about the energy, and just be conscious of how we're actually making them feel, especially in that first 15 seconds. They're going to be judging us. We know that. Guys, the second thing is, like, what do you sound like? Especially if you're on the phone. If you're just making phone calls and you're making outbound dials and you're someone that is a phone warrior, as we like to call them, right? Like, do you know what you're going to say in different situations? If someone's asking, a question at the beginning of the conversation, or someone is trying to get some more information, or they're objecting, or whatever the case is, do you have the ability to overcome that like a professional, or are you an amateur and you're going to get stuck going, I don't, and then you're battling back and forth? Can you overcome an objection without creating any friction in the conversation, right? Can I communicate with this person effectively like it's no big deal? Like, I hear this stuff all the time. I just want to make sure that you're in the best position for you and your family. So we're just going to walk through this, make sure that we get your account closed out the proper way. This will only take us a couple of minutes. Sound like a good plan, right? Like, can I say something to them that's going to make them believe that, number one, I am the professional, and number two, we're supposed to be on the phone here today, and this is something that happens all the time. It's quick. I know, hey, it isn't the most enthusiastic topic to speak about, but there's a couple questions that I just need to run by you just to make sure that we do have the correct information here and that it is updated correctly, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here off the top of my head that could work for any industry. And I think that when pro tip, I'm going to revert here. Pro tip, record your calls, record what you sound like when you go up to customers and clients if you're in person, and just listen to yourself. Because, I could think that I'm doing everything right when I'm sitting here making the phone calls, making the dials, when I go up to people, and I could just think it's all external, and I could just live, looking out the windows, I like to say. But we need to be living life looking in the mirror and not out the window. What does that mean? I need to take accountability and responsibility for the things and the results that are happening inside of my business and inside of my life, okay? Rather than pointing the finger, blaming all the external reasons of why this is not working. We'll never get anywhere. We need to hold ourselves accountable. This way, we can actually have control over these different areas of what we need to actually grow, okay? So I challenge you guys, whoever's watching this, to just listen to yourself and just be open-minded. What do I actually sound like? Because I used to think I was the king of overcoming objections. And what I've realized is when I would record my calls and I'd listen back to them, I sounded like crap. I was saying, like I sounded awkward. I didn't have control of the conversation. I was still selling at a decent level, but I had so much room to grow. And I think that's what really like, like unlocked me is when I was like, man, I actually don't sound as good as I think I do. How can I be better, right? And then I started looking for ways to just fix my game, and I got really, really good. So think about what you sound like. Think about the things that you're saying. Do you sound like the professional? Do you sound like someone that you would buy from, right? Because it's our job to give these prospects and clients the courage and the confidence to actually want to go through and purchase through us rather than someone else tomorrow. I'm not giving out information. I'm the one who's going to help you make the decision to change your life, the decision to get this problem, this issue taken care of, and I'm going to help you through the process and make the correct decision for you, right? Guys, and the third thing is going to be creating a gap. This is something that I've learned from Andy, and it's very, very subtle, but it's very important, especially if you're dealing with people who are, have a guard up front, right? If someone has a guard up, I'm going to try to create a gap. I'm going to try to ask them some questions to get them to open up and feel more comfortable with me really quickly. First thing that I'm going to do, because I want them to talk. When people talk, they feel good. When they feel heard, they feel good. And I want them to know that I'm here for them, right? Especially if I'm on the phone, right? If I can get someone talking a little bit up front, I can also gather some information in that, and I can get some valuable information. Like, I don't even know. Like, hey, what brought you in today? What are you looking around for? Is there anything specific that you came in today here for? How come you came in for that? Is that chair broken at your house? Like, did you guys get a new dining room table? Did you guys just move? Did you guys just get married? Is this the family right here? Dang, you guys must need a good kitchen table to take care of all you guys. We got to make sure we find something that actually makes sense to have inside the house. Do you guys want it to match with anything? Right? Like, I want them to just speak about their situation. I'm just going to be nice. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be the professional, have all my words ready to go, have these different questions on the tip of my tongue ready to roll. And I'm going to try to ask them questions, get them to tell me about their situation. So number one, I can start to gather information. And number two, I can make them feel comfortable by speaking to me, by opening up to me. And then I'm going to grab control of the conversation, start to ask my questions and take them down the process, figure out what makes the most sense for them, walk them through the decision-making process and help them get whatever product they need or service taken care of, because I'm going to help them make that decision, guys. And these are 3 points that have helped me create a better connection with my clients, prospects, and customers in the first 15 seconds. And it makes all the difference. We are fighting for time at the beginning of phone calls, at the beginning of interactions, and we are trying to draw them in. We're trying to make people want to spend more time with us. We're trying to make people want to talk to us. We're trying to make people choose to be on the phone with us rather than anybody else, rather than be doing something else, right? And we want to make them feel good. So focus on your energy, the things that you're saying, and how you sound, and create a gap to gather information and make people feel confident and comfortable with you guys. These are 3 things that have helped me close more deals, connect with prospects, extend conversations, and gather really, really high quality information to help close more prospects on the product or service that they need. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Hope this helps. And if it did help, share it with a friend. Like and subscribe, guys. I'd appreciate it. If you want more information on Real Financial, shoot me a DM and just say Real Financial. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.